Good morning, class. Today we're going to discuss Homeroom Guidance Quarter 2, Module 7, titled Sound Decision Making. I am Diana Ann V. Martin, your class advisor. Before we start, let us know our learning objectives for this lesson. At the end of this module, you are expected to examine the steps in personal decision making, practice sound decision making, and decide an appropriate action on issues relevant to yourself and others. Introduction. The design of this module intends to help you analyze sound decisions and goals toward the achievement of your personal welfare and common good. This will further help you examine different factors in decision making, provide proper procedures toward sound decision making, and evaluate experiences relevant to it. Let's have a review first of your past module. In the previous module, you have learned about developing yourself. You were provided with discussion and activities to help you determine the value of knowing yourself by identifying the strengths and weaknesses towards becoming a better version of yourself. Now, let's proceed to the first activity. Let's try this. You have 25 minutes to do this activity. My personal steps in decision making. As a grade 10 learner, you are expected to somehow be able to make decisions in your everyday life. This activity will determine your knowledge and skills in decision making. First step, you need to prepare a sheet of paper and fold it crosswise. Copy the illustration below and complete the activity. On the left side of the paper, recall a significant event from your past when you made a correct or appropriate decision which led to a positive outcome. While on the right side, cite a significant event when you made a wrong or inappropriate decision which led to a negative outcome. Share things which you are comfortable to discuss with your homeroom guidance teacher. Begin with the nature of the problem. Reflect on the steps that you take leading to your decision. Answer the processing questions after. Processing questions. How did you feel when reflecting on the decisions you made in the past? What are the steps that you identified and followed in making your personal decisions? What have you learned on the results of your decisions in the past? Now, after you finish answering the processing questions, let's proceed to the next activity. Let's explore this. You have 25 minutes allotted time to finish this activity. Different scenarios. What will I do? To further test your decision-making skills, analyze the decision-making scenarios below. Read carefully and reflect on the important steps in the decision-making process. Write your answer on a sheet of paper. Scenario number 1. You dream of being part of the school's basketball team. To achieve that, you think that you should practice every day. Two of your classmates who are already members of the team constantly size up your efforts. They make fun of you for practicing and for working hard. One day, they ask you to hang out with them. They told you that if you will join them and do things for them, they will recommend you to the team coach. What will you do? Scenario number 2. You are worried because one of your friends has been hanging out with your classmates who are pressuring her to try drinking alcohol. One of them is her longtime crush who even invited her to come to their house during weekend because his parents will not be there. Your friend came to you to help her decide. What will you do? Scenario number 3. Someone in your class cheated on a test. You know for a fact that he together with your friend were writing answers on a small note before the test. When the test papers were given, your teacher congratulated him for getting the highest score. You are confused about reporting that he cheated as your friend might also be punished as well for helping him. What will you do? Processing questions. How did you feel while deciding for the given scenarios? What are the factors that you considered in making your decisions? What important insights have you gained from the decisions you have made? For the next activity, keep in mind, you have 15 minutes to do this activity. As a growing adolescent, you should be able to make constructive choices and be accountable of your actions. Remember that each decision that you make has consequences that can affect your life. Below are some important tips to help you enhance your responsible decision-making skills. Decision-making. Number 1. Be mindful and accurate in recognizing the problems and challenges that you are facing. 2. Effectively analyze the problems by looking at it in different perspectives, including how and why it happened. 3. Develop your ability to identify several options and explore the possible consequences for each. 4. Approach problems by considering your values and principles. The last one, take time to evaluate how you solve a problem by reflecting on its outcome or result. Keep in mind that sound decision is about making choices that are good for you and for others. It involves critical thinking, self-discipline, and accountability. Most importantly, it is about understanding yourself, your actions, and how it will affect others. Throughout your journey, you will become more and more independent until you can be matured enough to make your own decisions. For the next activity, you can do it. You have 25 minutes allotted time to answer this activity. Decision making, it is up to me. Number 1. Copy and complete the table on a sheet of paper. Identify community issues and problems that are relevant to you and decide on the appropriate actions to solve them. Apply your knowledge about sound decision making. What I have learned. For this activity, you have only 10 minutes to answer this. Reflect on your personal experiences and learnings from this module and complete the sentences below. Answer them on a sheet of paper. Number 1. In making decisions, I rediscovered that I value. Number 2. When making decisions, I learned that I. Number 3. For me, making decisions is difficult when. For our last activity, share your thoughts and feelings. You have 20 minutes to answer this activity. On a sheet of paper, write a letter for your future self to be reopened and reread at the end of the school year. Consider the following questions in writing your letter. Number 1. What are the challenges that you already successfully went through? 2. What are the challenges that you expect throughout the school year? 3. What lessons have you learned up to this point? 4. What goals have you achieved? Who helped you along the way? The last one, what will you remind yourself about making decisions and achieving future goals? And before we end our session for today, I will leave this short quotation saying, decisions are the hardest thing to make, especially when it is a choice between where you should be and where you want to be. So, don't let be your emotion make your decisions.